Hello everybody, my name is Lisbeth Basurto and this is my evidence tree. The first event is the fall of the Berlin Wall, which served as a symbolic gateway to German reunification in 1990. This German reunification was a process in which the German Democratic Republic joined the Federal Republic of Germany to form the reunited nation of Germany, and when Berlin reunited into a single city. Then we have the collapse of communism on December 8, 1991, when the Soviet Union ceased to exist. Boris Yeltsin, president of the Russian Republic, formed the Commonwealth of Independent States, and then after 45 years the Cold War was over. In 1993, the usage of the word Internet became a commonplace. The Internet successfully accommodated the majority of previously existing public computers networks. After this we have the introduction of the euro in 1999, which was a major step in European integration. It has also been one of its major successes. Then we have the invasion of Iraq, which consists of 21 days of major combat operations in which a combined force of troops from the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Poland invade Iraq. On 2005, Pluto is moved to a dwarf planet. A dwarf planet travels around or orbits the Sun just like other planets, but it is much smaller. On 2006, North Korea announced its intention to conduct a nuclear test. The blast is generally estimated to have had an explosive force of less than 1 kiloton, and some radioactive output was detected. United States officials suggest the device may have been a nuclear explosive that misfired. In 2008, Barack Obama was elected as America's first black president. Then we have the death of Osama bin Laden. He was killed by USA forces during a raid on his compound hideout in Pakistan. After this, in 2012, we have the re-election of Obama. He was elected to a second presidential term, remarking himself from a hopeful uniter into a determined fighter for middle-class interests. One of the most important events that I think that passed during this year is the Brexit, when the people of Britain voted for this from the United States in a historic referendum on Thursday, June 23. The outcome prompted jubilant celebration among Eurosceptics around the continent and sent shockwaves through the global economy. And the last one is the election of the USA. Trump was elected the 45th President of the United States on Tuesday, and his victory speech at the New York Hilton promised to focus on economic growth when he is sworn next January. In my opinion, Trump was the best election as president for the United States, but not for the world. Globalization. It is a process of interaction and integration among the people, companies, and governments in a different nations. A process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. This process has effects on the environment, on culture, on political systems, on economic development and prosperity, and on human physical well-being in societies around the world. Some world historians attach globalization Big Bang significance to 1492. Christopher Columbus stumbles on the Americas in search of species, and 1498 Vasco da Gama makes an end run around Africa and snatches monopoly rents away from the Arab and Venetian spice traders. Terrorism consists of criminal activity. It is an act dangerous to human life in violation of the criminal laws of the United States or of any state to intimidate a government, the civilian population, or any segment thereof, in furtherance of political or social objectives. There are two types of terrorism. Domestic terrorism includes acts of terror which are committed by those who are located in and operate from the United States. The second one is international terrorism, which is a type of terrorism which includes acts of terror committed by individuals affiliated with foreign countries. Unipolar World. This series started in 1989 with the end of the Cold War. The previous decade's superpower rivalry ended. That means no more sides, no more fights, and obviously no more East and West. The United States became a sole dominating power in world politics. Nowadays, we live on a polarity system because no state seems able to challenge the USA military because of its advantage in terms of geography. A digital area is characterized by technology which increases the speed and breadth of knowledge turnover within the economy and society. Understanding it in terms of evolution will help ensure we build sustainable socioeconomic relations both with technology and with the advanced knowledge that technology helps us to create. It has arisen for a dramatic expansion in the financial flow across the borders and the inside of the countries as a result of the rapid increase of the telecommunication and of the technologies and the products based on the computation. This development based on the technology has expanded extent and depth of the market that the governments, even the incredulous ones, have felt that they do not have another alternative to deregulate and to liberalize the internet credit and the financial markets. During the late 19th and the early 20th century, terrorism was generally ideologically inspired and found its greatest support among the anarchists eager to overthrow governments viewed as oppressive or corrupt. Terrorism was generally opposed by Marxists who regarded it as counterproductive and as contrary to the notion that change was best accomplished through revolutionary action by the masses. Terrorism generates particular public alarm because it suggests that every person is vulnerable to attack. Today, the availability of weapons of mass destruction, including chemical and biological weapons, makes terrorism a particular source of threat. As I have said previously, the period of unipolarity world started in 1989 with the end of the Cold War. This is a relation, which means that there were no fights, nor sides, and obviously no more East and West. The United States became a sole dominating power, and there weren't rivals or challengers to its position. So for that reason, this period is described to being unipolar. It is simple. Nowadays we cannot live without the technology. We all depend on it. The world has changed. It has become very technological in all the aspects. For example, it is a requirement to have internet in the house, since everything is managed by means of email, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Gmail, etc. I do not know any work that does not need a person that is not updated technologically. The digital world has changed our lives in every way. As a school, the days when teachers used chalk, dusters, and blackboards. Also on playtime, a small child playing games on a smartphone, laptop, or mobile games device. And also on the family home, where previous generation talked. Now we watch television together and then as a family at the kitchen table. The modern family is busier than those of you, with both parents very often working outside of the home. This was the last evidence of this course, and thanks for your attention.